Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to try to knock these out as short as possible now because, again, I told you in my previous video, I'm trying to learn how to have shorter videos. I feel like the shorter videos will be more beneficial to my channel. I would love to have the longer videos, but as of right now, I think I need to keep them as short as possible. So I want to get right to it. I like to do these videos in the morning because I feel like my energy is the strongest in the morning. I feel that, and I have a lot of song channeling, a lot of song messages. I'm wearing a Fleetwood Mac shirt this morning, so I'm getting You Could Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. You could go your own way, go your own way. I'm getting that. I'm getting I sense there's something in the wind. Da, 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 da. From The Nightmare Before Christmas, Sally sings that song. I don't know whether it's Sally's song or oh, there goes the monitor for my child who's still sleeping. This monitor, I don't even know anymore. So I'm also getting from Pocahontas, just around the river bend. I love that song. Something about choosing the rougher course in life instead of the smoothest course. You don't want the easy way. You want the more challenging way because the easier ways have not worked for you. I'm getting that. I pulled cards today. I'm get straight to that. I have the Hierophant. I'm using the Oz Tarot again. I'm getting a lot of Wizard of Oz energy. I've always been getting that since my mother passed. My mother is a huge Wizard of Oz fan. I think I stated that in a previous video. So I'm getting a lot of Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz is very, very significant to anyone going on a awakening spiritual journey because it means so much. That movie means so much. It means a girl or a child coming into her own by entering a world that she's not familiar with. She's growing up. She is learning how to do things that are hard, that are scary, and they always work out for her because she has love, she has friendship to help her along the way. The things that they wished for at the end, they always had all along, including her and the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion. They all had the elements that they needed all along. She always had the ability to go home, but she had to go through that rough journey first before she went back. The Tin Man always had a heart, even though he always thought that he didn't have one because of his chest was hollow. He always had love. He always cared for his friends. He always had the most love and encouragement for everyone. Scarecrow was always the smartest one out of the bunch, even though he thought that he just had hay for brains. He always was the genius out of the group. He always had the ideas, the quicker answers, the quicker responses. He always had that. The Cowardly Lion always had courage. He always had the bravery. He always protected his friends whenever that was needed. He always stepped up to the plate. He always was the one to go in front and defend, to be the leader. Like, he was that. Something about the Wizard of Oz. Anyway, I just had to say that. So the first card was or is the Hierophant in reverse. Second card I pulled is the Nine of Swords in reverse. And then the third card I have is the Ten of Wands in the upright. I feel that there is an energy or energies that wanted you to feel like God is not in your favor, that God does not listen to you, that God is turning his back on you, that you do not have God's favor. You are, everything that's happened to you in your life is for a reason, because God is not real. You pump God up like is this sacred entity. And I'm also getting that a lot of people in your life use religion and God as like, I don't know, like a scare tactic. But they try to make it seem like God is not for you. They use God to their benefit, but then for you, it doesn't work for you. They feel like if you are involved with tarot or oracle cards, or if you have a channel that specializes in that type of practice, if you believe that spirituality doesn't require religion, that you can admire other practices like Buddhism, Hinduism, you could go into different types of like ancient wisdoms, Egyptian mythology, or you could tap into the whole Celtic ancient wisdom, or the Druid ancient wisdom, you know, types of ancient practices that are older than throat chakra closing up, older than the Ice Age, things like that. They feel like you are against God, and therefore God should not work for you, and therefore God does not hear your prayers. You shouldn't think that God is on your side, because that is against God, that is against the Bible, which is, again, I believe that the Bible is a book that has stories to help you along with life. It has a lot of lessons in the book of the Bible to help you with the different scenarios that you may go through in life. I hope I don't get a lot of backlash for this, but this is my personal opinion. I don't believe the Bible is the end-all be-all. I don't believe that people should Bible thump. I don't believe that people should throw the Bible at people. Like, if you don't believe in the Bible, then you are evil. Like, I know the Bible. I know the books of the Bible. I know what each book represents. I know the difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament. I know that women aren't looked upon as being in the most positive light in the Bible. I know that people throw homosexuality as being evil because of the Bible. It's just a lot of crazy stuff with the Bible that people don't understand, but they try to throw that at people to make them seem like they're out of line, which is wrong. Because usually people that do that live in the biggest glass houses and throw the biggest boulders at people. And they don't like it when people throw the boulders right back at their house, because their house just comes crumbling down to the ground like a tower. And they don't like it. They don't understand. Why are you throwing boulders at my house? I'm just trying to tell you what it is. And they're like, you can't judge me. You're over there with the biggest glass house of all. And people don't understand that. I feel like people feel that their words should hurt you, should strike a chord, that they should harm you in some type of way because they're of God and they believe strongly in religion, in Catholicism, in Christianity, and you should believe what I say versus what you say. You're not that experienced in the world. You know, I have lots of experience. You should follow me and what I say. If you don't go to church, then you're lost. You're evil. You know, church has a lot of hypocrites as well. You know, let's not sugarcoat that. I used to go to church when I was younger. There was a lot of controversy in that church. It came out involving a leadership. It was pretty bad, to the point where the pastor had to leave the state. My mother always taught me that church is for fellowship, not for worship. Like, you could find God and praise God in your bathroom, in your hall closet. You go to church for fellowship, to bond, to have a camaraderie with other Christians, with other Catholics, with other members of that church, to find people on your same vibration. That's what you go to church for. You don't go to church to find God. You should already have God in your heart when you enter the building. If you enter a building and you're lost, you have some type of curiosity about what God is or whatever religion that you're curious about. Otherwise, you wouldn't be setting foot in the building, right? You must be trying to find some type of answer. You know, you're not going to be like a evil spawn of the demons of the underworld and entering the Holy Saint Mary's. You're not going to do that. Why would someone with evil in their heart want to enter a church? To see what's up? No. Nobody's going to sit there every week with evil in their heart and, you know, sing songs and talk to people and, you know, sell cookies on the weekend at the church bake sale. Like, nobody's going to do that. But again, it doesn't mean that there aren't a bunch of hypocrites and people that aren't lost in the church, because people get truly lost in the sauce. They start really feeling that they could use religion in the Bible for negative things and in negative ways. It doesn't make them evil. I wouldn't go that far, but it makes them really, I don't know. I've gone through that in my life. With the 9 of Swords in reverse, they thought that you would be up all night thinking about this, causing you mental anguish, causing you pain, causing you like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? You know, all this stress, all this anxiety, all these problems I have in my life, and you know, where's God when I need him? Where's my angels? Where's my guardian angels? Where's my spirit team? Where are my ancestors? What's going on with me? You know, woe is me. I'm doomed. I'm lost. I'm thrown to the curb. I have no help. To the point where you take yourself out. There's no other way. The 10 of Wands, they wanted you to feel all these burdens, every wand. They wanted you to carry this to the death. They wanted you to feel this all this anxiety, all this stress, all this woe is me energy. But you see how this man is carrying the sticks in front, not on the back? You're carrying this because you want to see where you're going. You don't want to carry the burdens on your back to bury you in the ground, to make you tired, to make you fall. At any point in time, this man could drop these wands, these sticks on the ground and leave them where they are. But this man is choosing to carry these burdens, these problems, these issues, these stresses, these anxieties, because it's his to carry. And these are the lessons he has to learn. Maybe this is the this is the karma that this man has accumulated for years. Because I'm pretty sure this man, person, has been lost for years. And finally, the clouds are parting in his sky, because the sky is blue, and he's starting to see clearly that the way I've been going has not been the way I should have been going. I need to choose the rougher course, not the smoothest course. I need to change my ways. So I need to tackle these energies one at a time. And he's walking towards, walking towards sanctuary, walking towards community, walking towards the answer, a change. Like in this house where or building where he's walking towards is sanctuary. I keep getting sanctuary. They wanted this energy to work against you. It's working for you because God has not turned his back on you. This could also represent if you're in a relationship, a union, some type of contract, some type of, I don't know. They wanted all of this to work against you. They wanted your relationships to end, your marriage to end. They wanted contracts, jobs, people to turn their back against you. They wanted people to feel like you're evil, or that you're losing your mind, or that you don't work hard, you're a lazy, I was going to say a curse word, a lazy person, because Hierophant is a Taurus, the energy of a hard worker, of someone that has worked so hard, they have worked their way up to the top. That's in reverse. They want you to feel like maybe everything that you've gotten in your life, everything that you've accumulated, won in your life, has been out of, I don't know, someone else giving it to you, spell work, you stole it. You stole someone else's ideas to make them work for you. You get handed opportunities. You get handed gifts. You get money. You don't work for it. You're lazy. You sit all day. You don't do anything. So why do you get the gifts and the perfect life that you have? Why do you get that when you don't even do anything for it? They wanted you to see that that type of life that you have is not a blessing because you didn't work for it. You not working for anything and you sitting all day is lazy work. You should work hard. You should have a job. You should be at a 9 to 5. You should be struggling. You should hate your job like everybody else. You should have the daily struggles like everybody else, because at the end, that's when it pays off. You need to work hard all of your life until you're dead to ground, or until you're in your 60s and 70s. So then that way you could retire and be happy and look back at your life and figure, oh, see, that's hard work. That's when it pays off. I choose to be happy and peaceful at any point in my life. I don't care if I'm 40 years old and I have a peaceful life. Maybe I feel like in my 40 years of living, I've already lived a life where I'm tired and I don't want that type of life anymore. That's my prerogative. I could do that. I feel like there's a lot of people that feel like that. I also pulled a couple of cards from some oracle decks. There is letter in reverse, note, text message. What does that say? The last one, invitation in reverse, cooperation in the upright, acceptance, listening, teamwork, win-win in the upright. And then the last one, family, roots, bloodline, togetherness, with three little like creepers that look like creepers from Minecraft. Together in water, emotional type of connection, right? So you have letter in reverse, cooperation, and family. Cooperation and families in the upright, and letters in reverse. So I feel like energetically, there may have been family or close friends or anything in that regard that have been trying to get you to fall in line with this energy. You got your tea? Because I guess I got the tea right here, right? Maybe it's family. I mean, I'm dealing with a lot with my family. You know, I don't really speak to them. So a letter in reverse is very relevant to my situation. I don't speak to my family really. Both sides. I feel like my family has I don't want to say what I was going to say. I'll keep that to myself. But I feel like there's no need for me to speak to them right now. I don't know when I'll ever want to actually have a conversation about my life with my family. I feel like I'm fine right now without their energy in my life, without their opinions, without their love bombing. And there's certain family members that I still think about that I definitely, you know, I don't put in this category, that I really hope that they're doing well. Not to say that the other family members, I hope that they're not doing well, but there's other family members that I think more about that I haven't spoken to in years. And throughout my life, I haven't really talked to. And, you know, if they ever see these videos, I hope that they know who I'm talking about and know that, you know, there's no ill will. There's no, you know, there's no hate. But it's not there for me anymore. You know, I've moved on. I don't know, it's always the family, you know, that they want you to cooperate with what they want. I'm getting a lot of, if you don't do what I say, or if you throw me to the wayside, or if you turn your back on me, or if you abandon me, or if you ghost me, then I'll do this type of energy. Even to the point where they'll try to ruin your credit or ruin your character to the point where it could possibly be illegal. It could possibly go into defamation. It could possibly go into fraud, like that far. Like, are we really that hurt, people, where you cannot move on from one person moving on? It's so interesting to me. I feel like other people have done this and there hasn't been repercussions on this level, right? But then when you do it, it's like World War III. The atom bomb dropped or something, or the earth cracked open. It's weird. It's weird. They want you to feel this energy so bad that what you're doing is so incredibly wrong. It's wrong. But it's not wrong. It's what you choose to do with your life. It's your life. What they do with their life is their prerogative. They could do whatever they want with their life, right? But then when you choose to do what you want with your life, you don't know what you're doing. You're choosing wrong. It's against what we want. It's against the grain. It's against the vibe. You shouldn't be doing that. What are you doing? Excuse me, confirmation burp, I guess. It's just a lot. I don't know. It's a lot of people walking past my house. That's weird. In the morning. Maybe there's a lot of people walking past your house. That's interesting. You know what it is? You know that I had to go into my Rainbow Bright. Of course I did. Of course. Of course. But I had 2 cards that came out. I had the Pits that came out in reverse. And then I had, of course, the beautiful Rainbow Bright. The Roundup card. It came out in the upright. People or energy, they wanted you to feel that your world was ending, that your world is nothing, that your world is like, you don't have any money, you don't live in a nice fancy home, you don't live in a nice neighborhood, you know, your child is whatever, you know, your child is lonely, your child this, that, third, you know, you don't want to be around family, so you're not going to have any family, you're not going to have any friends. Your life is forever broken. You're broken. Your heart's broken. So you're taking it out on everybody. Why is that? You shouldn't do that. You should want to heal. You should want to reach out. And if you don't want to talk to us anymore, you should give us an explanation, closure. You should want to talk to us about this. You should want to resolve this. Ooh. And what I keep getting is that is what your mother would have wanted. If you have a passed on loved one, they use that. This is not what your loved one would have wanted. This is not what they would have wanted. They would have wanted you to do this. Oh, you don't know them like I do. How dare you speak their name like this? How dare you say that about them? You don't know them. I knew them longer. So what? They're your parent, sibling, what, significant other. So what? I knew them longer. I know them more. I know what they would have wanted. I know what they would have said if this would have happened. I know what they would have been thinking. This is not that. They would have wanted you to do this. They would have wanted you to speak to us or resolve this or whatever. They would have wanted a different ending than this. They would have wanted us to be a family, to blah, 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 blah. It's just like verbal diarrhea coming out of their mouth because they don't know what they're talking about because they feel like Your connection with your passed on loved one is weak. That connection was severed when they passed, and their connection is forever connected through death, stronger than ever. They're the only ones that can have a connection with them because they knew them for blah, blah years. They grew up with them. They whatever with them. They have that connection. You don't. Your connection is lost. Your connection is gone. You don't know them. That's the vibe. That's what they want you in. They want you in this pit of depression that you could have been in, but you're digging yourself out. You see this? You're coming out of that. You're coming out of this pit of depression. You're coming out. You're breaking down the boards. You're breaking out. You're seeing the sky. You're dropping the wands one at a time. You're breaking out of this depression, of this mental prison, spiritual prison that you've been in, that people may have put you in. I don't know. Because you are the person that spreads sunshine and rainbows and all along. This has been you, okay? This has been you. And you are starting to realize that people see this and people don't like it, and that's their problem, baby. Who cares? This is you. This is the way God made you. This is the way God sees you, okay? If they don't like it, oh well. Oh, thee well. You spread sunshine wherever you go. If there's a gloomy sky, if there's a world, a place, a person that you meet and they have a problem, you try your best to bring some type of sunshine in that situation, in their life. You try to bring that, despite the way you feel. You just feel like it's a purpose. When you leave, you want to make sure that that person, that situation, that place is brighter than the way you entered it. That's just the way you are, man. It's just the way you were coded when you were born. That's it. And people wanted you to feel like them, I guess. You know, feeling like there's no new beginnings, addicted to whatever, lost, you know, not wanting to speak, wanting you to be quiet, wanting you to stay in your place, and not give glory to God that you are alive, that you are breaking out of these patterns, these barriers, these curses. Stronger than ever. Oh man, is going on 3333 on the clock. Okay, well, let me leave it here because the message is getting kind of up there. I wanted it to be below 30 minutes, y'all. I'm trying, okay? I love you guys. Please like, smash the like button, please. Share, subscribe. I would love that. And always be the peace that you want in your life, right? Show them what that is. And if they don't like it, it's not your problem. Peace.